Welcome to Activation Nation. My name's Mindy Trimble, and I am joined today by the amazing Dr. Tamia. Tamia, you're going to have to give the whole backstory, but Tamia, I have gotten to know in the last few months and have had the privilege of being at a few different events with her and being able to really work closely with her with presenting and speaking. And she is an absolute powerhouse and phenomenal, not just speaker, but businesswoman and just person in general. And so I was so excited to be able to have you join us here today, Tamia. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It truly is. It's an honor to be here with you today, Mindy.
Well, she joins us from Love Biome. And Tamia, how long were you with Love Biome?
Well, I was with Love Biome for 3 years. Yeah, for
Oh,
3 years.
and I know
hmm
you've been in the industry even longer than that.
Yeah, I got started in the industry. It'll be 33 years. Well, actually I got started before that, but I decided to just do it as just what I did on a day-to-day basis. About 33 years ago, January 1st, it'll be 33 years
Wow.
of pretty much, working for myself. Yeah.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool. So you got a little bit of history and
I do.
a little bit of experience in this field.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, like I said, we are absolutely, I have been thrilled to be able to work with you, and we're thrilled to have her here as part of the LifeVantage family now. Um,
Yeah.
and just your knowledge and expertise to be able to share today on the podcast. So again, thank you so much for joining us and being willing to do that.
You're so welcome.
Well, we're going to focus today a little bit on, as we all are very aware and know, we're right in the middle of the holidays, the busy season. It's called, just the end of the year, the close of the year, all of the things that are going on right now. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming and
Yeah.
so it's a fun, amazing time of the year, but sometimes it can feel a bit daunting and overwhelming for a lot of people, especially when you are trying to run your own business, help a team to do the same, still stay present with your family and personal life things and enjoy the holidays. It can feel like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
I
sometimes get stuck in that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I learned, trust me, Mindy, when I tell you I learned from my own mistakes, I
Mhm.
learned from my own mistakes. When you're in business for yourself, you're not in business by yourself, of course, but you're in business for yourself. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago is whether it's a holiday or not, you're still in business. We're still in business. And it's not just about really doing more as far as business is concerned, but it's about doing what really matters. What
Yeah.
really matters. And so many people, that's what I love about LifeVantage, because so many people, if not all, I could literally say all, need what it is that we're talking about.
Mhm.
And what better time than to share the gift of knowledge that we've all been blessed with people that are eager and they're willing, and that many of them they're ready to know, they're ready to learn.
Yeah.
And so I remember in the past when the holiday season came around, and which would have been or should have been a really good time for me to grow. Instead, I slowed down, and in many instances, I stopped, which cost me. It
And
cost me because I learned this a long time ago that the speed of the leader is the speed of the game. And
absolutely.
so, yeah, your team members will do what you do. They will do what you do. And if they see that you're not being active, they see that you're all caught up in the holiday season. Nothing wrong with that. But once again, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. But when they see you still doing your business and still enjoying family time and spiritual time and all of the things that really, really matter to us, but growing at the same time, it makes a world of difference. And that's why so many people, when they see you as the leader doing that, they will follow suit. And we have to make sure that we keep the main thing, and that's what I learned over the years of being in this industry.
Absolutely. Well, I love that perspective too of, your team will do what you do, right? And
Yeah.
that's so true in so many different situations. What are some specific things that you kind of do to with your team to set up really like realistic expectations for yourself, but also to help your team create some realistic expectations for themselves and their team?
You know what? It's funny you say that because I actually have a team here with me today. They're not with me right now in my office, but and I'm going to be working with them, and it's all about the holidays. And here's the thing: what I learned over the years as well is that during the holiday season, you can really build, you can add to. For
Yeah.
new folk, they can build a strong customer base. And for those that's already engaged, they can add to their already existing customer base. And so why am I saying that? Because it's true. Yeah, we've learned to get very creative. For an example, we put together baskets, right? And
Mhm.
this may sound like a lot, but I tell you, it's fun. Put together baskets and raffle those baskets off and to individuals, and that's how we were able to collect so many names and so many numbers and email addresses, etc. And then letting those folk know that we're going to be in contact with you, although you may not win, but there is something in it for you when we talk with you. And from finding ways to capture information from people that usually come from all over the world, people are visiting from all over the world, no matter where you are. You could be in Kentucky, you could be in New York, you can be in Australia. People are coming to visit family. And so you set up shop somewhere and you can do that. In addition to that, people that's on your team having launch calls, holiday launch calls, customer celebrations, where people are bringing people to different calls or different venues, etc., and capturing that information and using that information to turn those individuals into customers and potential consultants down the road. So not just like I said, just using just doing something, but doing something that really really matters,
Yeah.
where everybody's engaged, everybody is excited, and everybody, we're having a good time, but at the same time, we are building a massive organization. And
Yeah.
initially, it may not look like it, but that's exactly what we're doing.
One
That's
step.
exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
Well, and this is such a relationship built business.
Yeah.
And so, doing those things, I think that what better way during a time where people want to get together, we're celebrating things, feeling in the spirit of the holidays. It's fun to get together. And it's fun to learn from each other, and then there's always too this time of year that in the back of our minds, like, oh man, January is coming. It's right around the corner, and what am I doing now to set myself up, rather that is health-wise or my business, hopefully both. That's kind of always right there in the back of our minds too, hopefully. And so this is a great time to get people thinking about those things
Oh,
in
yeah.
January.
Yeah, absolutely.
What am I doing now to either hinder what things are gonna look like in January or help, in both of those
Hmm.
spaces? So, are those conversations that you guys have, on your team when you're talking to new people or even just talking amongst your team? Like, are you preparing for the next year, rather it's goal setting or what do
Oh,
I want
yeah.
January to look like, and how do you guys do that?
Oh yeah. And so here's the thing. Most folk, what are they doing in December? They're looking in the direction of January. They're making all of these plans.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, it's us, and unfortunately, some folk they get sidetracked. They get sidetracked with, I'm gonna go shopping, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But one of the things that I've learned over the years is that, especially during the month of November, and if you can, to do it in October, is to speak to your key players, people that are really, really wanting to take their business to a whole nother level. And we'll start a 90-day blitz. And I do that through meeting with them on an individual basis. those that have actually shown me that they are serious about building a business, and they're really serious about their future. And I compiled many a list. It's a generic list, but it's a very powerful list. And so we revisit their why. What is it that you really really want? Because you can easily, like I said, you can easily lose focus during this time of the year. But when we refresh the memory of the why, and then after we go through the why, and I ask them, well, what is it going to cost you if you don't get this done by January, the end of January? What is it going to cost you? And then they feel a little pain, if I don't get this done, and this is where I'm going to be. If I don't talk to this amount of people, if I don't do this, this is where I'm going to be, and it's not going to feel good. I'm going to
Um,
end up being in the same place that I was this time last year. And
yeah.
so I say, well, how soon do you want it? Well, I want it right now. I want it right now. So you know what? We got to get focused and we got to do it right now. If I put together a plan, if I put together some daily tasks of things for you to do, if I'm committed to you, are you committed to you?
Mm,
And I get yes, 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 and we go to work. And so they know that I'm going to be with them through November, through December, and through January. We're going to
yeah.
put our heads down. Yeah, we're going to enjoy the holidays. We're going to have a great time with our family and our friends. We're going to enjoy great meals, etc. But at the same time, we're going to build this business because your why is the reason why you're doing what
Mhm.
you're doing. And
Yeah.
me knowing that as their leader, that is going to, I'm going to remind them. I'm going to keep it in front of them. Not going to beat them to death with it, but I'm definitely going to keep it in front of them so that they stay on task. And I'm telling you, every year, people are so grateful for that 10-minute conversation that changed everything for them, that really, really embraced the entire idea and went forth with it. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all we need, right? We just
Yeah.
need a little perspective, and that's
Yeah.
what you're giving them. You're giving them not just a perspective, but then a path to remember why they're doing it and a path to get to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
love
that goes into dream building too, Mindy, because before I conclude any conversation that I have with any of those individuals that I've had and that I'm still having, I asked them. Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to January. It's January the 31st, and it is 2027. Everything went well. It all worked out. It
it.
all worked out. You're where you want to be. Okay, you're living a life that you really want to live. Your team is flourishing. You hit the rank that you wanted to hit, and I give them back what it is that they want. I share their why with them. In other words, I help them see that their why could come alive, that we can actually see it breathing, living, etc. And I asked them, how's that going to make you feel? And when
Yeah,
I tell you because we do this on Zoom and some people in person, when I tell you when their eyes open up so bright, when their smile gets bigger, when their entire posture, when it starts to change and you hear the little laugh in the voice and when they're expressing how they are going to feel, I
yeah,
remind them that that day is not far away. All they have to do is just hold on to that feeling, knowing that this is my end. If I just go through this, if I grow through this, November, if I grow through this December, if I grow through this January, all the way throughout the rest of the year, this could very well be my true living experience in 2027,
mhm,
and it's right around the corner. And so not only am I helping them to define or to go back to the why, and in some cases, new folk define whatever that is, but I'm helping them to see that it is possible
yeah,
if they go to work, stay consistent.
yeah,
And that's how it is. A lot of folk they look at top leaders and companies and they, whoa, wow, look at her, look at him,
yeah.
they're doing it, but they don't know that
They
they
don't
had those days too, right?
yeah.
That they had to go through some stuff. Yeah.
And they don't see, the hard work
Well,
that you've put in to get to where you're at, and so giving them that vision is so powerful, and helping
absolutely.
them do the same, is what a gift.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Well, Tamia, I know I'm gonna shift gears a tiny bit,
Okay.
and, you are no stranger to, hard work, and huge transformations. And so I want to shift a little bit, and maybe you can share briefly about your health transformation. I have seen the and heard a little bit of your story about that. But I would love for you to just kind of give just a quick little share about, your transformation health wise, and what that has looked like for you, and most importantly too, of what do you do now, because this time of year, as we've talked about a little bit, it can be hard to stay on track health wise and make sure that we're keeping we've talked a little bit about keeping our businesses successful and where we want them to be, so that we're not suffering in January because we didn't. But it's really the same with our health. It's something that you have to keep on top of and be aware of, and that can be challenging during the holidays. There's so much around
Yeah.
that just isn't great for us. So, what are tell us a little bit about your transformation, and also what you do to stay on top of it, and some key things that you feel like have been helpful.
Oh wow. Well, I tell you, growing up in South Carolina, Mindy, everything that we ate, we grew. My grandmother was a homemaker. My granddad, he was a sharecropper, and
Mhm.
so the food that we ate, we grew. We grew those foods, and the
Amazing.
animals that we ate, yeah, we ate those animals. Those animals we raised,
Yeah.
and so we knew what we were getting. However, when I transitioned to New York at the age of 16 years old, things changed real quick. Things got out of control real quick
Yeah.
because I was no longer in the garden. I was no longer raising animals. I was no longer outside playing every day because we couldn't stay in the house. I had to go outside, had to play, and
Yeah.
I was no longer doing the things that I did. We were washing clothes by hand growing up in South Carolina. And when I came to New York, we were using washing machines. They had laundry mats, and I had to learn how to do all these things. And so over a period of time, I began to feel very unmotivated. I was unhappy
Yeah.
and really, really had very little hope. I can even go so far as to say that sometimes I didn't want to be here anymore. I just
Mm.
didn't want to be a part of this whole rat race anymore.
Mhm.
I had issues with falling asleep. I couldn't get a good night's rest. I was always tired. I had issues with going to the bathroom, occasional constipation, occasional knee discomfort. I had pressure on my knees due to the added weight. I had put on an additional 158 pounds on my little 110-pound body. And so my joints were very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I felt limited in the activities that I could do.
Yeah.
I wanted to walk more. I wanted to run, play with my kids and my grandchildren too, and I was limited.
Yeah.
I was very, very much overweight. I mean, it's literally, I mean, just very, very much overweight,
Mhm.
and not happy in my body. My clothes wasn't fitting and things like that, and my hair was thinning out, breaking off, and then two, I had some other unhealthy experiences that led to some serious health challenges.
Yeah.
But after I started to really, really take care of me, and
Mm.
that's what I talk to people about every single day. And I started to focus on me. I tell you, I have never felt happier.
Yeah.
I feel like I took back my life. I found myself all over again. I got my motivation and confidence back.
Mm.
Went from not being able to sleep to getting a good night's rest, not waking up throughout the night. I didn't have to take naps throughout the day. I would just go to bed and I still do, and sleep through the night. No issues at all. I
Yeah.
have regular bowel movements. I'm staying regular more now than ever before because I'm now experiencing what I experienced when I was a young woman, and that is healthy digestion. So, I mean, I'm telling you, my joints feel amazing. I
Saw you
but
walking around in some huge heels, to me.
I'm
I
telling
know
you,
they must feel great.
yeah, I couldn't do that before. But I feel amazing. I'm able to do things that I said I would never do. And so I've been able to release a lot of those unwanted pounds, and
Yeah.
I'm in the gym now again. I feel balanced. I really feel balanced in my life. And so,
How
what am I doing?
active.
I am staying true to what I've learned. I'm staying true. We have some amazing, amazing products. And although we don't talk about products treating, curing, preventing, healing, mitigating anything, but I just believe that when I started to give my body what it understood, what
Yeah.
my body recognized, my
Mhm.
body responded accordingly. It wasn't any supplement or any pill or potion or lotion that I took to give me these results. No, not at all. My body did exactly what it was designed to do,
Wow.
and as a result, I've been able to experience life on a whole new level, and I feel amazing. And I want everybody to feel
Yeah.
the way that I feel, and I believe that we're going to do our best to make sure that that happens.
I love
But
it.
I, yeah, yeah. So
Well, and I think the key thing that I'm hearing from you is you started to listen to your body and what it needed and what it was lacking, and started taking care of you, which meant
yes,
started really addressing those things that were lacking and those things that your body was screaming for that they needed, which,
yes,
like you said, as a young girl you had, and were just right there at your fingertips, and then all of a sudden they weren't, and you had to figure out other alternatives to continue to feel that way.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
No, I love
Mhm.
but I mean, it's amazing.
Mhm.
I wish that, on this podcast, we could show your photo that I've seen and, let everyone see, but, hopefully everyone will, be at our different events, and be able to hear from, Dr. Tamia and, hear more of your story. If those of you that were at Momentum Academy in October got to hear a piece of her, just amazing, heartfelt story that I'm not sure that there was a dry eye in the audience, but, it was just such an amazing moment of you sharing that, and, we're grateful that you did.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
okay, back to the topic. I get sidetracked a little easy on here, right? We digress. But what are some things that you like, some non-negotiables, some things that you could share with our listeners with your business that you are like 1 to 2 tips that you would share with them to say, "This is my absolute non-negotiable. I do each day."
Hmm. Well, I put together a time picture at the
Mhm.
beginning of the week, and I do not deviate from it. Whatever it is that's on that time picture, that is exactly what I do. My family knows that. When I say family, I'm talking about my adult children, my husband, and my grandchildren.
Mhm.
They know that I just don't play around when it comes to my time because I realize how valuable time is, and so I don't take that time for granted. Another non-negotiable is I feed my mind every single day in the morning, first thing in the morning, and again before I go to bed at night. I probably have listened to The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Joseph Murphy, I don't know how many times. But I also listen on YouTube. There's a video that's called Your Subconscious Mind. And I listen to it over and over and over and over again. I'm constantly feeding my mind because I realize that if there's a empty space in my mind, then there's room for anything and everything to go inside. And I avoid that. I am literally standing guard at the portal of my mind all the time. So
Mm,
those two things, my time, I value my time and I stick to the plan. And then two, I feed my mind
mm,
because I realize, I'm telling you, that we can do a lot when we take care of those two things.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. Um, Same question, but when it comes to your health, and
Hmm.
I know they're a little they're related, they overlap a bit, but what are a couple of things that you really are non-negotiables that you do to stay in that good space of making sure that you continue to feel good and be where you wanna be?
Well, I take my products. I tell you that
Mhm.
nonstop first thing in the morning after I've done my meditation and I've got my mind right. Next thing I do is I'm taking my Protandim. I'm also taking my Mind Body GLP-1 to take those two pills. Wait 30 minutes. Have my shake. I'm also making sure that I get in my P84,
Mhm.
and I'm taking my collagen. I'm telling you, I use my products. I am no longer buying shampoo and conditioner and hair serum and skincare from other sources. I use it all. I use it all. Even the Axio, I use that as well. And so I make sure that's non-negotiable. I am a product of the product. When folks see me, they ask me, "Well, what are you doing?" And I let them know. And
One.
and there's always customers coming out of that. The next thing that I make sure that I do, as far as my health is concerned, is I make sure that I get in some exercise. Before, because I was so overweight, I just didn't feel like going to the gym.
Yeah, it's a little bit
I
of a
mean,
double-edged sword, isn't it? It's like
no,
this is
I mean, it's like, man, listen, I don't want to be on a treadmill almost 300 pounds, and I just didn't want to do it.
yeah.
But now I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm lifting weights. I'm telling you, it is just phenomenal to participate in life at this level, which is, I'm telling you, Mindy, at one time I didn't think I would ever do it. I didn't think I would ever get here again. I mean, when I look at my life, I said to myself, wow, I was a cheerleader in junior high school, all the way through high school, all the way through college. I could jump a 5-foot fence without my leg touching the fence. I could climb a tree if it had branches or if it had limbs. It didn't matter. I could get up to the top of that tree. I was very athletic.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that went out the window because I just forgot about myself.
Yeah.
And so now I'm having a great time enjoying my products and giving my body the exercise that it needs to continue to stay strong, build muscle, so that I can continue to enjoy my grandchildren on a whole nother level, run around, jump, play basketball, and all those good things at my age. It's just fun. It's really, really fun. We're having a good time.
Well, I know I can just feel the enthusiasm coming from you and the happiness, and I am sure and I hope that everyone listening, can do the same and just feel that coming from you. Thank you so much, Dr. Tamia, for
You're
sharing all
welcome.
these things and just sharing your wisdom and your experiences that you've had because, that's really what we need to hear. Sometimes we just need to hear how someone else has pushed through or found some success when that's what we're wanting or needing. So I hope that that's what people take away from this is just hearing your excitement and your success and the work that you've put in and what it has shown for you or just what has come from that. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much again.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for having me. I feel so special.
Of course, anytime.
Thank
We'll
you.
have you back. So, thank you everyone for listening and joining our Activation Nation podcast, and we will see you again next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Activation Nation podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for future episodes and updates, and share with a friend or prospect that you think could benefit from today's conversation. Check the episode description for any links or disclaimers, and we'll see you next week for another episode. And now, the legal stuff. The statements made have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.